everybody, welcome to the GSMs Pride. It's Monday, heading in for the week. We had a great weekend last weekend. Friday and Saturday I think we did 16 total, so not counting Fleet, which was a really good weekend. It's what I really wanted the guys to get accomplished, and we did. This week, not a great deal really to report. I've got to try and find someone to do my spotlight this week. I don't have any candidates at this moment, but I'll find somebody. I'm heading in tomorrow for a GM meeting. It's the third week of the month, so we always do them on the first and the third. So obviously I'll keep you up to date on that. But other than that, I've got my general sales manager is off on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. He's going to Arizona. So he's going to be out of town, so I need to spend a little bit more time up on the sales tower, just making sure that everything's going smooth. You know, really just got quite a few things to get uploaded this week. Got a testimonial that's really good. I got the second part of Luke's walk around for the Mac E. This time it'll be interior. We had to split those in two because they were pretty long and detailed, so I really wanted to switch that up. But other than that, not really much to report at this point. You know, as always, that will change throughout the week. You know how it goes. I think I'm walking into a Monday morning with not much to do, and my weekend's up filling up really fast. I do know I've got to figure out something with Ford. I've got a couple of FCTP, which is Ford's transportation program, so it's loaners. I've got 3 that wouldn't pull out of the system there, and then I've also got a complaint from a customer, not for us, for Ford specifically. So I'll be working on those this week. So right now, that's all I've got for you, just touching base, and I'll see you all in a bit.
Hi, this is Luke here at Hughes Ford out in Chesterfield. Now let's take a look inside of the new 2021 Ford Mustang Mach-E.
Now look at this.
Alright, upon entering, pretty easy way to start it up. Foot on the brake, and then you're not going to hear much because it is all electric. You'll just hit your little power button up there. Your screen will come on, everything will illuminate inside. It does do a little startup whenever it has been sitting for a little bit. You'll see the big Ford coming up. One of the first 2 things that you see here are the 2 massive screens that you have right there. You do have the full digital dash in the middle here, which is pretty cool. A 15.5-inch screen that Ford kind of implemented there. All your controls are going to kind of be solidified to that one screen, so it's all pretty easy to get with it. With the 2021 Ford Mustang Mach-E, you do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capabilities. I'll just kind of show you how this works. So it is a little bit different in 2021. So with the Apple CarPlay now, instead of having to plug your phone into one of the USB ports down below, it is all wireless, meaning that you can just from your phone decide if you wanted to use CarPlay and not have to go off just the regular old-fashioned Bluetooth. It'll just display everything up there like it would before. Same with the Android Auto, it is all wireless now. Zooming in here, if you can see it, down below you do see that it'll show exactly how many miles till your next charge there. It says 97%, kind of like your phone battery would. With the all-wheel drive extended range battery, you do kind of get an average of around 270 miles per full charge. So of course this is just going off of the current mileage that's on it and the driving history between it. So on the left side of the steering wheel, you do have your adaptive cruise control, just like the regular all other Ford vehicles would. All your volume controls on the right, and then in the middle here, you do have your, again, your iconic pony badge right there. This little screen, which I'm sure is flickering on your video here, that is for the little system that Ford's implementing for the full autonomous driving. It is not out yet, but it will be something that will be implemented later on that you can, add that package to. That'll kind of just monitor your eyes, make sure your eyes are on the road so that it can drive and steer for you, making sure you're not sleeping there. In the middle here, you do see that you have your nice little turn dial there for all your drive modes. There's no column shifter, no handle here in the middle. Your parking brake, which again Ford's been going with for quite some time. Parking assist button, and then of course your hazard lights. One really cool feature about the middle screen here, so you have just one of the turn dials in the middle that just controls your volume, of course. Once you hit this power button, you'll kind of see it does that little spread there. If I hit it again, you'll see it just letting you know it's on. Now when it comes to the middle screen here, like I said, everything will be controlled from the middle screen. So there's a few different ways to kind of go around it. Right now it is in that night mode because we're inside the dealership, so it thinks it's nighttime. The top left here, you see the little Mach-E icon. So I'll hit that, and the first thing you will see is all of your drive modes. With the drive modes, you have a couple different ones. Engage, which is going to be more of just a comfort type drive mode. Whisper, which is completely quiet, you're not going to hear much of anything. And then Unbridled, which is my personal favorite. Whenever you do all of these, once you're driving, your dash up front will change a little bit as well. And once you're driving your own, you'll be able to see that as well. So with the 3 drive modes, just following down to the bottom here, so you do have your one pedal drive, which is implemented with your all-electric or hybrid vehicles. What that is it's supposed to support your regenerative braking, which it just uses the friction from the braking to kind of charge the battery a little bit, gets you the most out of each charge. The propulsion sound down below here, so what that is there are speakers inside, which you can see. It goes from here all the way across with your Bang & Olufsen sound system, which is a 10 speaker system. You do have kind of like a surround sound bass with this system as well, absolutely beautiful sounding. And what the propulsion sound is it's strictly inside of the cabin. Whenever you do have that up, when you're driving, it'll actually kind of deploy some type of sound out of the speakers, make it sound, like the Mustang would. Through here, one of your main safety features. Out front, you do have a front-facing camera. You can see that Mustang in front of me. You do have a really cool, nice little 180 mode up front as well, so it shows the corner of that dealership all the way over to my coworker Corey's desk right there. You do have 360 sensors all the way around, so when you're getting close, it'll tell you exactly how close you're getting. And then you do have a standard 360 camera with it as well. You can kind of see Lauren walking through there. Clicking out of the camera, it'll just take you back there. Parking, this is just for all your parking assist modes. You see the park aid is enabled, which you can enable and disable all from here. Your active park assist, which is meant for parallel parking as well as perpendicular parking. All you got to do is press that button down here. Once it finds a spot for you, it'll completely park for you. Absolutely awesome feature with them. Ford has kept that along for quite some time as well. Your little lock access here, so this is just so if you are charging your vehicle, no one's able to actually just come up and pop that charger out of there. So going over to driver assistance here, you'll press that button. It only shows a couple right here, but once you hit additional settings, it will give kind of a breakdown of all the different driver assistant modes here. So your first one, cruise control, you do have intelligent or adaptive cruise control or just regular cruise control, whatever you do prefer. The intelligent is going off of the speed sign recognition, so whenever it reads a speed sign, it'll adjust accordingly. Does have the lane centering on there as well, keeps you completely centered in the lane. Speed limit assist, that's just to, it'll pop up here, let you know if you're going over the speed limit. That little speed sign will flash on your digital dash up ahead. Lane keeping system, kind of standard with a lot of the Fords now, so I mean that's just to, it's a little bit different than lane centering, so it'll go off of when lane centering's off. Anytime you're drifting over the line, you can have it alert you or aid you or do both. Right now it is just set to alert you, but again you can add aid or aid and alert. Pre-collision assist, so the safety features do go far on when it comes to the Mach-E here. The pre-collision assist, so I mean again just like the lane keeping system, you can have certain types of alert or aid sensitivities. What it is with the actual pre-collision assist, if it senses that you're about to get into a car crash, it'll go off of a distance indication. The automatic emergency braking, so it will go as far as braking for you. And then with the Mach-E, you do have the evasive steering. So whenever it'll actually go all the way up to turning the vehicle for you to, get away from that wreck. Rear view camera delay, that's just, the rear view camera won't go off till you're giving it enough gas at a certain speed. Blind spot information system on both mirrors you do have, so those will illuminate when someone is in your blind spot. And then the reverse brake assist, so that's just whenever you're backing out, especially in a crowded parking lot. Let's say you're in a mall and you're backing up, it'll shoot a certain amount to both ends of that parking lot to make sure that there are no incoming traffic when you're trying to back up. That one will go as far as braking for you as well. The owner's manual is a really cool feature in this. So you do have a regular owner's manual in the glove box. What I really like about the Mach-E, they have different videos as well. So let's say I need help with seats and restraints, power seat adjustment. If you have any questions, literally anything that would be in that manual will be here, and they do have a video for almost everything. You just sit there.
My seat.
And it'll take you through a walkthrough of all those features with it. So I mean, like I said, it has a little bit of everything. You can search in there, or if you like the old school scrolling through the manual, you can do so as well. So that was just a quick walk around and an interior look at the 2021 Ford Mustang Mach-E Premium. If you do have any questions and want to reach out to us, our phone number is 636-532-9955, or you can reach us at LouFhughesFord.com.
My name is Doug Kelsey. I bought a 2017 Ford Focus ST today. I was working with Grant Woods today.
How was Grant to work with? How was your experience?
It was very pleasant. I came in as a new buyer and first purchase from a dealer, and they made it very easy and simple. Just overall making you feel comfortable, I think, just talking to you normally as almost a friend, if you would.
That you guys had a different experience at a different dealership.
Indeed.
Not too long ago. What was that experience like?
Pressure filled, I'd say, tense, much less relaxed, and almost, I didn't know it. I wasn't buying the car, but I was with my sister who was, and it just was uncomfortable.
Okay. Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that was not your experience here today?
No. If I had questions, they were more than happy to answer, and your GM, Jason, came out and actually wanted to talk to us too and go over everything that we could and just help build that relationship, which is important when you're, you know, a young man trying to buy a first car, because I would come back if I'm treated nicely, and I have been.
If you were talking to somebody who was gonna buy a car, why would you tell them to come to Lou Hughes?
I would say to come here or come to Lou Hughes because they'll treat you like you should be treated, which is with kindness and respect, and make you feel comfortable.
What are you most excited about on your new car?
The 6-speed.
I love it.
One, two, three,
So I wanted to show you real quick the athletic side of the facility, just to show you how cool this place is. So I'm just going to walk down the aisle, but I don't know if you know this, but this used to be the Rams Park facility when the St. Louis Rams were in town before they moved to LA, and the Hughes organization took over it a couple of years ago now. But yeah, we get all this cool facility. So I'm just going to walk through. I hope nobody's on the field, but I just wanted to quickly show you the field real quick and show you how lucky we are that we get this pretty cool experience. Let me just check through here. There was somebody in there, so I don't want to interrupt them, but I just wanted to show you real quick what that place looked like in there. So as you can see, it's pretty cool. Yeah, if you're not part of Leaf Hughes soccer and you want to be involved in soccer, you should come down and see us, because it's a really good facility and some really great coaches, and the organization's great. They always wanted to give back to the community, so you should check it out. But again, I just wanted to give you something a little bit different to show you the facility a little bit. All I did was walk down one hallway. It wasn't down the whole building, so I'll see you all in a bit. So I just got out of the GM meeting. The reason I wanted to tell you, it got a little heated today. We had a couple of GMs, not heated like aggressive, just differences of opinion, which happens. Happens a lot because you got several people that have their own ways of doing things, and a little bit of a difference of how they believe on stuff. So kind of went back and forth a little bit. Today was a little bit more interesting than usual. But we changed up the process a little bit. It was more of a, instead of going around the room, it was more of a, let's touch on what we talked about last week and see what changes have been made. So I really preferred that that kind of agenda. I feel like we got more done. Again, I opened up some cans a little bit and some worms came out, but it wasn't like aggressive. It was just really more that it was just a little bit of a difference of opinion. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a little bit of feedback on how that went, and like I said, it was a little fun today. So it was something that I thought I'd tell you guys about. So I'll see you all in a bit. I know this isn't going to go out for a week, but it is St. Patrick's Day today, as you can see. I have a face tattoo, which I've always wanted, and now a green mask. So I'm going to run around the store real quick and see what crazy things these guys have done for St. Patrick's Day. No drinking allowed though, just so you know. Gary's going to run away.
Gary was going to talk to you.
Not now.
The stuff on it, things I like. Yeah.
So this is Brian Anderson, one of my finance managers. Look what he did to his forehead.
There we go. What do you think?
Lucky? Who's lucky?
Anybody who says hi to me, they're going to get a great deal out here.
I think it's for lucky for the people that buy all the products.
Well, yeah, of course.
When they're in the finance office. So just so you know,
right.
if you come over, you got to buy all the products because it's lucky you. Who else has got some?
Sticker is quicker.
They always say that, sticker is quicker. I know John Stoll's wearing green today.
Last name is German, but I'm mostly.
Is it thinking powder you like?
No, not really.
What is it then?
It's the corned beef and cabbage.
Ah, corned beef and cabbage. So some of them did actually have corned beef and cabbage today. I was going to, but the potatoes they had were ginormous. And chase Gary out. Let's go see Honey, because I know for a fact she's got... Okay, this is Honey. She's got her St. Patrick's Day hat on. Where's all your tattoos? Oh, she just got a look at you on there.
Just one.
I'm just showing her on St. Patrick's Day. I'm wearing my green mask today. We have a Christmas tree up all year round, just so you know.
St. Patrick's Day tree, it's all green.
Yeah, it's all green. Have you got, where's any St. Patrick's Day stuff?
Yeah.
See, Rachel's got her St. Patrick's Day mask on. Did you make that or did you buy it?
My mother-in-law made them.
Wow, it's impressive. Zach?
I live St. Patrick's Day all year round because I have my beautiful St. Louis FC cups.
They're all green, that's really
All
good.
green. I got my green up on.
Look at that.
You know,
St. Patrick's Day all the time.
all the time.
Did Chelsea win yet?
No, they are still up 2-0.
2-0 now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was. Oh, so it's 2-0 on Africa.
Oh, okay. So not in the. So let's go see if anyone else has done anything. I know. Is John still here? Okay. I'm just going to sneak it. So John's got a flat cap on and a clover leaf on his head. And I think Lauren's going to be my last one. Luke's got lunch. See if she's off the phone yet. She's on the phone. I'm just going to interrupt her.
So who can I get a build from?
She also got Mountain Dew, look.
Yeah, like
She's like looking at me like she's going to kill me. Who's on the phone? Go on, that guy there? Watch this. Pass me that. Come here. Grant. Hi, Grant. Grant's got to get back surgery. Huh? That's it? What's up?
How many Bronco reservations?
Just one?
You looking for green stuff?
Yeah. What you got? He's green all the time, though. That's kind of like a mint green.
It's perfect, though.
It's not really green. Okay. Okay, so that's everybody. I don't think anyone downstairs has anything, so that's all I got. I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, everyone, it's that time of week again over at the GSM Surprise. It's the employee spotlight. This week I have Corey Hughes with me. He's one of our top sales people and also one of the team leaders here at Hughes. Corey, how far back do you want to go?
To the beginning.
To the beginning of time or the beginning of Corey?
The beginning of working.
Okay, so you don't want to talk about anything to do with your before work? No?
We can talk about some before work.
Well, let's touch on it a little bit. I don't want to go too far back and let's talk about how you conceived and all that kind of stuff. But let's talk about, you were in the military before you got in the car business, correct?
I was.
Okay. So when you left high school, went straight into military, college, military, how did that kind of work itself out?
A little bit of that, a little bit not quite. I wasn't super vested into school. I was a band nerd, but I didn't stay super vested. I decided to drop out and started college before what would have been the end of my senior year. Realized that wasn't for me and thought, what else am I gonna do?
So what did you go to college for?
I was just taking my first entry courses right out the get-go. I wasn't pursuing any actual degree in any way, shape, or form, just your initial courses they have you take right out the get-go, and I probably made it half a semester in.
Okay, and then you enrolled in the military?
I did. Right as my dad retired out, I went right on in.
And in what section?
I was infantry.
Infantry.
Shoot guns and blow stuff up.
Front line?
Front line. Walking up and down mountains for a living.
How long were you in the military for?
5 years, 3 months, 21 days, but they say...
What about the seconds?
I'm not that bad.
So you did a couple of tours, correct?
I did.
So tell us a little bit about that. I remember you telling me Italy was one, correct?
So I was stationed originally in Italy. When I first enlisted, I signed up for airborne school as part of my contract. My dad wanted to go with me, and he said, whatever you do, don't go infantry. I said, whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to go airborne. So I didn't listen, and I went to airborne school, jumped out of planes, and that in turn, they got me sent to Italy. I spent about less than a year there and spent my first tour in Afghanistan. Right about the 10-month mark, and we were all getting ready to pack to head home, they said, we're gonna keep you an extra 3 months, so 15 months it was.
And you did 2 tours, correct?
I did 2.
Where's the second tour at?
Second one was Afghanistan again, and that was for another year. A little bit different of an area, but weirdly enough relieved the same people that were there before us as the first time I went. So I got to see a bunch of familiar faces to people I never thought I'd see again.
Let's back up real quick. Obviously, a lot of people at home, especially myself, always assume that the military just go to places like Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, those kind of Middle East kind of countries. What did you actually do in Italy? What was the point of going to Italy?
For that, we were mostly the quick reaction forces. So when something big were to happen, we keep bases scattered throughout Europe and different parts of the world. So if there's any kind of major incidents, we've got forces that are quick reaction to get there. So if something new and major would have happened, we would have done that. When Iraq first happened, my unit was actually one of the units to jump in and was one of the quick reaction forces when Iraq first happened.
Okay, so yeah, I'm sure you got some stories. We won't get into that, but I'm sure you have some stories.
A little good, a little bad.
Yep. In between the two, you came back, and you don't have to talk about this if you don't want to, but you have a daughter?
I do. That one actually happened after I got out, but I think you're referencing my short stint of marriage.
That is exactly what it is.
My short trip back after my first tour of Afghanistan. They give you an extended time to come home, and most of us are normally not thinking straight because now we've finally seen a female for the first time after a year, and surely enough, I just divulged right in despite my parents saying not to. We'll just say it didn't last long.
So your baby mama is not the person you married, correct?
She is not, no.
Okay. So let's move on.
We're a little tainted here, I know.
You said everything was off limits.
Hey, it's all fair game.
So yeah. So you do have a daughter. How old is your daughter?
She's 8 years old.
Okay. And you get to see her regularly, right?
Yep, we do an every other weekend and some time extra in between that.
Does she live far from you, or?
She lives in Fenton, so not too far. Her mom and I went to the same high school, grew up in the same area, and she goes to the same school district that we grew up going to, so there's some creature comforts with that.
Yep. So you are engaged to be married in 2 months?
Very exciting. We're super close. We're almost there. Just a short bit of time left as long as I still get my days off when that day comes.
Well, you might, but Jan won't. I'm just kidding. But getting married, how long have you been with Lexi for?
Been 4 years.
Okay. And she's good with your daughter and all that kind of stuff?
She is. She was originally studying to be a preschool teacher, so she's good with kids. She realized she didn't want to be a teacher, didn't want to do that much time with kids, but they get along well.
Yep, and she's in the banking world, correct?
She is in the banking, answering phones and her staying home, working on the computer.
She does mortgage.
Customer service line more so at this point now.
Okay.
She kind of leads a couple people underneath her to help handle the calls, and then she handles a lot of the harder calls that the customer service line can't handle below her.
So what's the wedding day?
May 15th.
May 15th. Are you nervous?
I'm more nervous on how well we're going to put everything together when the day gets there. For budget purposes, we're just going to build a lot of stuff ourselves, so we'll see how it goes.
I could give you a little bit of advice there. My wife did the same. She built a lot of the stuff herself. You know, at the end of the day, you could sit and plan it forever, but it'll all work itself out. At the end of the day, as long as you get what you want out of it, it'll all work out. You know, we did a lot of things ourselves, including I did the music for the actual wedding ceremony, not the reception, obviously.
So it was all karaoke?
Yeah, you know me. But no, it was actually, I did it with an app, because the place we used actually had a PA system that you could just hack and connect into, and so I just made a playlist and it would have worked itself out.
Nice.
But I'm saying don't panic about it too much. It'll work itself out. It'll be good either way. We got a honeymoon coming up after that?
A little bit of a honeymoon, a
Where you
week's
going?
Vacation. We're going to Florida. We're going to head down to the Keys. I don't trust going out of country during this whole pandemic thing, and next thing you know, I can't come back to work for 2 months because they're getting us locked down there.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a good idea. Okay, let's move out of the personal stuff. Let's talk about business. When did you get into the car industry?
That would be November of 2014 I first entered the car business.
And was that when you came back from Iraq, or when was
I worked a whole lot of factory jobs after that. I never thought about selling in any way, shape, or form, but I loved cars. So I drove an old 76 pickup truck to and from work.
I thought you said you love cars.
I do love cars. I love them a lot. So I drove an old truck, and everyone knew I liked cars, and one of the dealerships in Washington, Missouri plastered on the side of one of their big commercial vans looking for salespeople. So I went to Washington and dropped my resume at every car dealership in town. One called me back, and that was the one I said, all right, let's rock and roll.
And that was a Ford store, right? Ford Lincoln.
Was Ford.
Yep. So you are very much a Ford guy, correct?
I am. I wasn't for a little while. It grows on you. The brand grows on you, and the product grows on you.
Yep. So how long were you at that dealership for?
I spent about 3.5, coming up almost 4 years there.
Okay. And then you stumbled across us, correct?
I did. I took a little hiatus from selling cars. It was commissioned there, so it was a little different atmosphere. Not as family oriented. It's small town, so it was what it was. But I wanted to get back in the business, and loving cars, it was the only place to be.
So what did you do in between the two?
A little bit more factory work. I was real familiar with factory work. They're easy to hire on to a lot of times.
Yeah, no doubt. So I'm going to tell them a little story a little bit. I remember when you came here, you'd done a lot of research on us before you came to this dealership, because I was actually the person that interviewed you. I remember you saying that you'd checked our reviews out and checked our Facebook out and felt like it was a good place to work, and we had the same visions, I guess. Do you still feel that's the same way this right now? I do. Now that I've kind of been with the network some, I see where a lot of people find a lot of comfort in working with the network. That it's beyond just one store. Everything is connected. And there is a lot of care in trying to find ways to improve and make things better if the overall experience. And how did you like working for Hughes Ford specifically? It's probably the closest camaraderie to the military I've had yet. It feels at home when I'm here. And now, and a lot of people are probably going to comment on this and say, why don't I film that all the time? Well, there's a reason for it. It's a good time. I like it. I can take a joke, and it's fun to have a little bit of fun throughout the workday. We spend enough time here together. I mean, we're family. Just to tell you a little bit, we kind of stripped the salespeople down to what we call the core four, and then rebuilt from there. And we feel we've built a pretty good team at this point. There's always little adds and deductions here and there, but not on a grand scale. So that's kind of the idea behind that. But what about Hughes Automotive Network as a whole? Would you recommend your friends to work here, or what would be your feeling about them? They care about taking care of people. They've gone above and beyond in ways I wouldn't expect a normal employer to go above and beyond, just personally. And there's always some way they're looking to either help out the community, help out their employees, and find ways to make things better. Cool. If there was anything bad or good that you'd want to point out during this interview, what would it be for the store? I think of the good, we have a good group that likes to work together. We're all different in a million different ways, but each one of us brings a little bit something different to the table. I think the bad, sometimes we've got to step back and remember we are all working as a team, that yes, we like to be competitive, but at the end of the day, it's always looking out for it, at the general sense of it, the store as a whole. Yep. What's it like working for me and Steve? You can be honest. I don't know if intense would be the word, but probably intense. It's a good time. Some of my favorite people to work with. Easy to learn, easy to if I've got questions, the option's always there to learn it. Yeah. Well, talking about questions, so you have some aspirations to move on up, don't you? I do. Let's talk about that a little bit. So you've been here for how long? I've been here for just over 2 years. And in those 2 years, what's made you feel like you want to progress in your career? Because obviously I've been in the car business before, but you did do a little bit of bounce around. You've been in the military, factory work, automotive, back into the, what is it that's made you think, okay, this is a place I want to be and I want to progress here?
I like helping make things run smoothly, and not just helping maybe one individual, but always helping everybody. Anytime anyone asks me for help, I always enjoy helping it and progressing to help everybody find success. And for me, Hughes Network is probably about one of the only networks, the only network I know of, that, I mean, it's all about promoting from within. They care about building a foundation of people that truly understand what the network is about.
Yeah, well and truly right now we're trying to build a bench, especially for the next people. You know, for you people at home who don't know this, the network is trying to grow and double its amount of dealerships. So we're trying to build the teams and grow them from within, so those people can move on and take over new stores and run those stores. So it's all about progression through the ranks. Let's think here. So your aspirations are to get on the desk, correct?
I'd like to make it to the sales manager role. I don't know if I want to make it to your role yet. You seem a little tense sometimes. Maybe a little late.
Tense?
But, you know, it's just a matter of, I always want to see myself first in that next step up. I don't want to quite...
Are you open to going to finance first?
I'm open to finance.
Because I'll be honest, when I first became a manager, I wasn't always necessarily the person that say, oh, you'd have to be in finance first, but I think the best desk guys are the ones that have been in finance and stuff. So you did just do some training, correct?
I did.
How did you find that? How was it?
It was good. Almost everything in there was something new to learn and kind of a new way to look at things beyond just my typical role that I'm used to doing, of how to look at the bigger picture that's going on beyond just me.
Yep. Well, I think I've come to the end of my questions. I do have one last one for you if you want to tell the people at home why they should come buy a car from Corey Hughes at Hughes Ford.
We're up front, we're honest, but we still like to have a good time. There's no reason buying a car needs to be stressful.
Is that your line?
Yeah, that's my line. It's not famous, yeah.
Is that, I do have to bring this up before we go, but you know, when I hired Corey, there was a little bit of a thing that was always made us nervous about hiring Corey. Now, I think this is a point that we need to show this. Corey has a certain saying on a very visible part of his body. And it's tattooed on there, and obviously in the car business, it's always been kind of a grey area whether you can show your tattoos or not. Myself being heavily, but Corey, why don't you show the people at home what it says on your
I mean, if
on
we
your
have
knuckles?
to, tough love, baby. Everybody gets it.
Let's touch on that. Why the tough love?
My daughter. I've been around the world and I've seen that a lot of the world is a lot uglier than what some people like to think it is sometimes. And it's not always positive. You got to be tough out there. The world can come at you and throw some curveballs.
Cool. Anything else you want to say to the people at home?
Let's sell some metal.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us again. As always at Hughes Ford, we can replace the car but not the customer. And I'll see you all next week. So today's kind of a wet and dreary day, but something's happening today down in the service department that's really cool. We're actually going to get a 30,000 pound 4-post rack. We do a lot of heavy duty stuff here, and it's kind of gets tough at times to try and figure out how to lift these things, but so we got approval from the ownership and we're installing a 30,000 pound rack today. So that's let's go take a look at it.
You know I'm a hustler, hustler. You know I'm a hustler, hustler.
Benefit behind doing this. So we complete every single vehicle when it's retail done. It actually goes out of the system from the recon side. So once you get to the retail ready, when I get there, it's here. If you click begin work and then click the green check mark, it'll actually disappear out of the recon list. So when you're specifically looking at it for yourself and putting your tags in for the store, you'll only find cars that are in recon, not ones that could have already been retail ready. So you're not scrolling down, like for Mark's store, they might have 120 cars that they got to scroll through. The good thing, see how it disappeared now? There's nothing in there. That won't show up on when I do recon. Like if I type in test now, unless there's multiple, it won't show up because the car's totally done through recon. It's finished. You don't have to touch it again.
How can you find that car again?
So that is one thing I'm working on with them right now. You used to be an inventory tab and be able to go back into it, but now they've made it this showroom tab and none of us have access to it. That's the only negative. The only way I've been able to get back into it is if I go to this one and put it back in, which is, it never used to be that way. They just recently changed that. There used to be a tab at the top that would have inventory and then recon, and you could view your inventory after it had been through recon, but they've just recently changed that.
Actually, if you go to the all vehicles tab, where it says in recon, if you hit the X on that.
Ah, that's a fair point. There we are. That's how you find it. If you take that tag off, because they did recently just change this the display, so you can find it. Nathan, to answer your question, it's just you have to take the recon tab off. Can't complain that they spent $540 on it because I approved it myself. Everyone uses the notes from VIP though, right?
Yes, everybody.
Yeah.
On the sales side, everything goes through notes for our end of it. So, I mean, that was lightning fast, kind of what we went through. But I mean, if you guys would like additional information on really more of a one-on-one, I can go back through and tell you.
It's literally pretty self-explanatory if you go in there, because if you click on the task tab, it gives you estimates, requests, and to-dos all in there. You just got to go through and add them, and then they'll automatically tag to the person that you assign.
So this is for when you're in your store.
Correct.
Correct. In your service department, so they work up their quote, and then they go in and say they use X factor in their multi-point, and they create a multi-point, they estimate it out, and then they go into recon velocity and enter that for you to approve.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what Eric does is he'll just send me those, and then sometimes obviously because it's only me and Jerry that approve them, sometimes we won't even notice them. So what he'll do is he'll send me a note and say, hey, just FYI, the estimate's submitted, can you go in and approve it? And then I'll just approve it. I really hope you enjoyed this week's vlog. You got to see a little bit of the Hughes athletic facility. That was a very, very brief snippet of it, but if you are a parent and you do have children that enjoy either soccer or American football, I know that's kind of funny to hear say, American football, lacrosse, check out Hughes Athletic, because that's a organization that we own, and we are very good, big into giving back to the community, so check that out. Hope you all had a great St. Patrick's Day. I know this will be a week late, but and hope you enjoyed your St. Patrick's Day. You saw that we had some fun and did a couple of things, so it was cool. Again, if you are a local and you have something very big, don't forget we've now got that 30,000 pound rack that I showed you guys. That was a big installation for us, and something big that we really wanted to do, because we do a lot of really heavy duty stuff, so that should be a good addition for us. Hope you enjoyed the second part of the Mac E walk around with Luke. That was very informative and a little longer than I was hoping for both of them, but I think you guys should have got a lot from that. Also, Doug's testimonial on the Ford Focus ST. Those vehicles are pretty hard to come by, and I actually got to spend some time with Doug and his mum, because they had a pretty bad experience at the other local dealer. So that was kind of insightful for me to actually watch that, listen to that testimonial about their experience. So like I always say, we can replace the car, not the customer, but we're always very excited to get a new customer, especially somebody that's had a bad experience somewhere else. Corey Spotlight. Obviously we got to learn a little bit more about Corey, a couple of different things that we don't usually talk about, especially with the military and whatnot, so that was kind of nice to do. And then finally the Recon Velocity. I hope you guys got to see a little bit of how we internal processes that we have, and you know, I've always prided myself on using the software that we have available to us to make our jobs easier, so I kind of always get dragged into doing the training, but I actually love doing it, so I just don't sometimes wish I had a bigger voice within the network, but I'm still a new GM, shall we say, new GM, but either way, that was kind of fun for me to touch base on that and watch that. So I'm shortening this video this week because I'm actually headed to do something that I'm really excited about, so I'll be starting to film that tomorrow, which I'm really excited to show you guys, but that'll be in a week, so keep a lookout for next week's for sure, because that will be something that'll be a little different for everyone. I'm going to post my subscription button on this side, and then also on this side I'll post probably one of the other week's videos, so you can check those out. Please click through those. It does help my click-through rate and also helps the channel's progression. Also subscribe, because we need those subscriptions as much as we can. We are kind of going up pretty quick, but we've still got some time in there for those hat giveaways, so if you saw last week's vlog, the week before that, if you'd have seen that vlog, you'd have seen that I'm trying to give away a hat for some subscriptions. So please subscribe. And as always, over at Hughes Ford, we can replace the car, not the customer. And I'll see you all in a bit.
You know I'm a hustler. You know I'm a hustler. Well, I'ma break it down one time.